I'm going to talk about my 2024. It's a very hard video to do because it's so personal and there's so many lessons that I know it just won't make sense to most people. You need so much context, you need so much depth and detail for it to even remotely make sense. And I know that to 99% of people this video will not make sense, or the stuff that I talk in it, because I'm so far into my journey and I have such a weird, like, random experience. But this is there are common patterns in my journey that every single person going towards their destiny, chasing their dreams, making their dreams a reality, following their purpose, going on their hero's journey that will experience. Anybody who is delusional enough, who is trying to see that they are not delusional, that their dreams can become a reality, has to go through these patterns. And that's why the hero's journey, the monomyth exists, and all this poetry that people write, like Bukowski and all these guys, they talk about this shit. And I have been trying to make stuff like that, and I'm analyzing that and trying to find hope for myself in this journey. Like, oh, he said like this is that, all that. And I'm showing you guys the live action shit. So I'm gonna first, I thought I'll establish a timeline of the year, and then I'll go through each thing and talk about it. This is a big video, and there's so much to cover because this year 2024 is the first year that turned out exactly how I imagined it to turn out, at least on an overall sense. And the reason is because every year when I start the year, I give the year a name, and the name for 2024 was the year of the breakthrough, and it actually was the year of my breakthrough, with many things. So I assume that 2025 will also be the year that I name it out to be. Normally, I would name like 2022 the year of execution, and I would not get anything done. I would name 2023 the year of money, and I would be broke. But 2024 I named it the year of the breakthrough, and it really was my year of breakthrough, and many, many, many breakthroughs. So that showed that I lived that year intentionally, or that my thoughts and my actions actually manifested. And I'm gonna show the entire thing in as many words, as few words, and as many details as I can, but it's really hard. So, starting now, 20 December 23rd to 28th, right before Christmas, around that time of 2023, I had an injury. So while I was dumbbell pressing, like in the gym, I had 25 kilos on each arm. I was doing the seated shoulder dumbbell press, and both my shoulders fell out at the same time. Okay, that was fucked. So 25 kilos, you can imagine that's pretty heavy weight, and it was pretty like heavy for me because I had gotten back into the gym after a long time. And the reason that happened was because I had this forward like scapula like posture, and like the rotated shoulders and like forward neck posture, and it had been developing from like the past year, from moving around, sitting in all these weird places trying to get work done, like sitting on the floor, sitting on like a stool, like just the worst things, moving around in like tiny buses and all this shit, right? So that put like a strain in my posture, and then I would force myself to go for runs, and every time I ran, like my forward neck would just get worse and worse, my curvature would increase. I wasn't looking at this or taking care of this or doing anything, and then it was like an accident waiting to happen. And I saw an article day before yesterday posted by Elon Musk on Twitter, and it was like he shared it, and some kid wrote the article, and it was like forward neck posture, these are the issues you will have, it's like an accident waiting to happen, back pain, neck pain, breathing issue, this. And I'm like, I'm seeing it now in 2025, but the entire of 2024 I struggled with this shit, and I tried to find many doctors and this and that, and it just never worked. But this accident that happened in the last week of December set the tone for the entire year. Okay, it was like a monumental like thing, because just imagine, right? Both shoulders dislocated. I'm living alone in this city. I have nobody here to help me, really, and except my girlfriend at that time was there, but it's not possible. Like, my building has restrictions; she can't really stay over and all this stuff, and it was very hard. And the thing is, it happened 5 years into my journey, right when I felt like I had finally gotten my momentum together. I'm starting to build it up. Finally, when I had like some financial this thing and all that. And the weird thing is, in the previous video, I spoke about like me cleaning out my bank account and self-sabotage video. about me spoiling my girlfriend and all this, right? So this happened in December 2023, and the entire month of December I was blowing money. So I had like cleaned out my bank to zero just for the fuck of it, because I'm like, anyway, what's there? I'll make it back. So then the bank is empty at zero. My client stopped working. The injury happened, and it just fucking crushed me. And I couldn't brush my teeth. Everything was swollen up. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. Luckily, my girlfriend was able to come and stay with me. Like, we had to lie and say like she's my cousin and all, and like it was weird. But she, like, there was just like, it was very fucked up because she had to come stay. She had to do everything. Like, and I got fever. I got sick and everything. And that point, that thing that happened, was the middle point of my hero's journey. That was in like the hero's journey, the middle, when the hero suffers a major attack from the world, and like he goes into like the abyss and he has to like atone with his father. And that's exactly how it was for me. That injury happened. I was like broke. I had nothing to help. I was sick. All this shit happened, and I had to reach out to my dad, and I didn't want to do that. And I remember sitting on the bed and talking to my girlfriend, and she was like, "Babe, it's your dad. He will help you." And like, I don't know, like it was like, and like Joseph Campbell says, it's like this double generated monster. And I finally made peace with my dad, and I told him, and he was like, "Yeah, obviously, like take the MRI and do this and that." And he sent me some money and all, and like I made peace with my dad through that event, because our relationship had taken such a hit over the past few years, you know. And this is the first, like Jan 1st, Jan 2nd of 2024, right? And I go to the hospitals and I take the MRIs, and they're like, you need to do surgeries and all this. So it's fucked. Then I'm like, no, this I can't do surgeries, and dad is like, don't do surgery, and people are like, it's gonna be very bad for you if you do that. And the doctors are all messed up. They didn't even like check my arm. They're being rough. I'm getting like weird shit, and I'm like, what's going on, you know? And I sit at home. I start believing like I'll heal, and I start like forcing myself to get back in shape. Like my arms, my shoulders became normal. Like I couldn't do much. I could move and stuff. But then I kept going back. I started running again, and then like I went and ran 60 minutes, like for the first time, like just doing. But then I realized like my posture and my body was so bad. Like my rib cage was hurting and all these things. And I started like seeing this pattern in my life where I'm like, I would constantly force myself and my body through extreme situations and circumstances. Like I would try to run a marathon with one leg, you know. I would try to build a business with while having like a leaking hole. Instead of just fixing the problem and then building up, like I should be fixing my posture, then going for runs, you know. But I would just like, I had this goal of getting this distance in this time of running, and I didn't want any injury to stop me. So I would just keep hammering through. And that is a big lesson that I had to learn this year. And in that first week itself, like that injury happened, and it was so difficult. Like I lost all hope. It was very dark, you know, that first week. And like a few days later, I see like I had started a Twitter account, and like it had like 40 followers. Nothing there. There's like bots and shit. And I see like Gary Vaynerchuk followed me. Okay, now in like October of December 23, I had started like just trying to post one tweet a day, because I wanted to build a personal brand around it. And I had just started posting that, and I just started going forward with it. And right after this injury, I see this, and somebody saw it and brought it up to me. I didn't even know. And it's so weird that had it been any other celebrity, anything, I wouldn't have made much of it. But it was Gary Vee. Okay, and even if it was like one of the other inspirations I had, like Patrick or Alex or any of these guys, it would have meant a lot. It would have meant something. But it was Gary Vaynerchuk, which was super weird, because in 2019 I went for Gary Vee's seminar in Dubai. Okay, and it was like a ticket that my friends and all got for me at that point. And I started my business in 2019, and there is this thing in the hero's journey. It's like you try, and then once you actually commit, the mentor arrives. And I even remember telling my girlfriend at that time, like when I was sitting in the seminar, I'm seeing Gary Vee on the stadium, and I'm like, oh babe, like, you know, like when the student is ready, the master appears and shit, and like she's like, yeah, and like I'm seeing him, and I didn't even have the courage to go like speak to him. Like there was a queue building at that time. I remember making excuses, and I'm like, no, like I waited a little bit, and then like the crush built up, and like I was last in the queue, and it didn't work, and it just like I remember saying that time like I'm gonna meet him in person. I'm gonna be so successful that he's forced to fucking meet with me. I'll go to VaynerMedia, I'll go to New York, I'll meet him in his office. I'll be so successful and I'll have the best business that VaynerMedia will want me as a client. That's how I'll meet him. I'll earn that seat. And like it was like this oath I took internally. And then like 1 year into like I was just watching Gary Vee 2018 a lot, 2019 a lot. By 2020 I had like dipped off because he was all about positivity and there was a lot of negativity in my life and it didn't connect. I needed some guy who accepted the darkness and like gave light to that, and that for me was Patrick. So I was like all Patrick at that time. But Gary Vee is the mentor that started me on this journey. It's a guy I've never met, but he's still my mentor in that way. And he followed me, and I have 45 fucking followers. There's no like explanation, and it's weird because I had just made one tweet like in like October, November, just tagging him, or in December, and somehow he saw that and it made sense to him, and he followed it, and he follows like 20 fucking thousand people, right? But that tweet, it had some like it showed maybe my skill, my talent. It was a little sharp assessment of something else, and he saw potential in that. And I assume that's the reason. But whatever it was, the timing of it was insane. And I saw that, and I'm like, okay, shit's not that bad. Like the injury happened, and even before the injury, there was some severe family issues that happened like the week before that. It was just chaos and chaos. But then this Gary Vee thing happened, and I'm like, oh my god. Like it was like, oh my god. Like the first time in my journey, it connected something. In 5 years, for the first time, connected that I'm on a path that is not just mine. Like I'm on a hero's journey that all these guys have been on. Because the 5 years before that, all I thought was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like Emily Blunt in Sicario. She's like, the whole movie, she's like, what's happening? Like, that was me the entire 5 years. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just going from one point to the other, somehow trying to survive, just trying to keep my head like on my shoulders. Like, it was just crazy shit. But this one, it showed like, hey, there is this monomyth, there is this hero's journey, there is this pattern that you can look into and study that will give you some relief. Okay, and when I saw that, it gave me a lot of hope. It didn't mean much. It gave me a lot of hope. It also showed to me like I was like, okay, he followed me, but even if I lost the account, I didn't care. And that was like big thing for me as well at that point, because my mindset had become so strong that I didn't pedestalize him anymore. I didn't pedestalize anyone anymore. And this became less about other people's journeys, my heroes or idols or mentors, than my own. This is my story now. Like I've come too fucking far for this to be about anybody else. Like friends like come to my birthday party, like nope, fuck you, I'm not coming. I'm going to the finish line. I don't care if you hate me. I'll find new friends. If you can't understand this, fuck off. Like it was just like I don't care. I've been through way too much pain. I have made way too many sacrifices. I've just been through like more pain than 25, 10, like 50 guys go through in one lifetime. Like fuck no. Like I don't care. I need to go the distance. And that in the Jan, that first week that happened, it gave me like faith. And this is the thing. Universe always kept giving like this one, like it's like I'd be like crawling through the desert and God would be like, one drop of water, like he'll come hit me, and I'll be like, oh, rehydrated, just to be able to crawl to the next step, and again it would come. And that's how it worked. So this Gary Vee thing happened and the bank was zero, but I was able to make peace with my dad, and that was like a big thing. And I made like the atonement with the father, that's what you call it in the hero's journey. I made peace with my dad, and he started talking and became chill, and like he sent me money and all that. But it wasn't the end of it. My posture was getting bad. I didn't know how bad it was at that point. And my mind and my mental and my emotions and all was just a wreck. And then bank was at zero. Now I can't work. enough to make the money. I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to like do the laundry. I have just imagine like both shoulders out. I have scapular winging on both sides. Okay, I'm developing like anterior pelvic tilt on shit. It's like my nerd neck is like this. It's all cramping up. I'm feeling like suffocation. I can't breathe. Every like half an hour I have to go lie down and like I have to do this and like have to breathe. It's so bad. It was so bad. And this went on for like a year, like in on and off and on and off, and then I never fixed it. But this happened in Jan, and it was like this dark period for like 2 months. And then in February, just one night, I was just sitting. It was dark. I was alone, and just this emotion just poured out of me, and I just started fucking typing and writing, and all my art ability came out. And I saw this in Robert Greene's book Mastery, the self-apprenticeship phase. It just pours out of you, and that's what happened. It just fucking poured out of me, like all this poetry and this life story stuff, and like I just started being able to type stuff out, and it wasn't the best or anything. It was new. I never knew I could do this. I never knew I had this in me. And it wasn't like my greatest artworks or anything. It was more about my life, and it was just like rhyming shit. But it was something new, and it was like I did it, and I became the hero of my story. That was like the end of my hero's journey. That was the reward, and that I became my alter ego, my other self, and my art ability came, and everything I went through in the past 5 years just connected. Oh, I wasn't just trying to become an entrepreneur. I was trying to become an artist as well, because you have to be an artist to be a fashion entrepreneur. And I came into this shit with no experience, no knowledge, no nothing. So I was like, what the hell? None of this made sense. I didn't even know this is what I was looking for, but it happened. And this is the saying why Mike Tyson and stuff say like talent doesn't exist. Like I was disciplined for 5 years through hell and back, and I didn't even know I had this talent. I didn't even know I had this skill or ability. And now I might be one of the best. I could become one of the best. So that happened in Feb, and in March that happened. I couldn't work, but now I'm like I have an art side and I'm like business side. Now I'm trying to do the agency thing at that point, and my posture is getting worse. Client had stopped working, and it's like everything I tried, God just kept closing all the doors, and it was like this desert. Like when you're walking with God, there are all these seasons, and it was the season of the desert. Like I have all this skill, all this experience, but no energy. My health is crippling me. Now I have this thing that like, okay, I'm on the right path, like Gary Vee shit, and I'm like this self-apprentice, like this fucking art ability and stuff. And I realized also like I really am an entrepreneur. I had this big self-doubt, like, am I meant for this? Can I do this? And like all my knowledge from the 5 years just like hit me, and I'm like just overwhelmed. And through this barren desert, I was just like praying, like, God, please open a door, please open a door for me, please just like show me something. And I would like make all these cold calls, trying to pitch all these random services in random niches, just menu card design, content creation, just trying. My brain was shot. I didn't know where to go, how to proceed. I was just hitting all these different, like, all across the board. And every once in a while, God would open just enough, like a door, for me to get enough money to be able to survive, pay rent, and eat. Like I would get like a 5K client for like some content creation and random shit. And it was always different industry, different niche, different service, which is not how you build an agency, which is not how you do freelancing. It's like the worst possible way. But there was a higher purpose behind it. Because after those like random clients, I was literally living on like noodles, like cup noodles, packet noodles. And that's why my body is like this, like skinny fat. I've lost all my muscle. Posture has become bad. I'm just like bone and fat. Like, and like huge ball sack. But that's it. There's nothing else. But I was eating like noodles and peanut butter and surviving. And I was just going forward. And then I tried, like, I was asking friends and people and trying to help, and some guy from Dubai, one of my old friends, and like I was trying to help, and there were all these people that could have helped me, that knew like I was struggling, but there's a lot of help that didn't come, and like I was just trying to figure out like what the fuck is happening and what's going on. And then I got this one project which was a Shopify e-commerce like fashion guy, and he had like this retail store and he brick and mortar store, and he wanted me to build a Shopify store for him. And I have been build a Shopify site in like 3 years since 2021, and I have not gone to e-commerce or any of that side for like a long time. It was like buried. And I did it, and when I started doing it, I suddenly got this intuition like, hey, I can do it from the back end with the partner program, and I did it with that way. So I built the site for free, and because of that, I got all the skill back. I remembered how much I know Shopify, how skilled I am, how much attention to detail I have, and how particular my knowledge is, because fashion, like products, physical goods, e-commerce. It was like I was in an unknown world, trying to do in another country, in another business model, in other industries and niches. I was completely obliterated away from my world, and I was crawling back to my world. And when this happened, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm not a bad entrepreneur. I'm not shit. I just was doing like completely random things. I was not in my world. And I wish I had somebody to guide me, and like friends or like some networks that I was part of. I would have released all this pain a lot and like provided clarity, because now I see people on like Twitter and this, and like stick to one thing, do this, do this. But during that phase, for some reason, I didn't even remember my own advice. Like I wouldn't even think of my own advice or what I had learned all this way. It was just very weird. But I got that client, and I did the work, and I built him, and I got paid a lot, and that covered me for like 3 months, because it's like an international client, USD like AED payment, and I can cover my expense here in India, and like it's still like below taxable income. My annual income is still nothing, but I'm not expending on anything other than rent and food. I'm just trying to survive and buy time, and I was just like, what's happening? Um, what the fuck is going on? But I got this client, I did the project, and I got like the partner program revenue from it. So then that opened another door for me. It's like multiple streams of revenue. Throughout my journey, I have been like focused on one thing, my thing, like e-commerce, fashion, like philosophy, psychology, just these things. I've never looked into crypto. I have never traded crypto. I've never traded stocks. None of like nothing I've done, because I was like focus, 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 focus. Except stocks, like 1, 2 times I've just like bought random shit, like for like $10 and all that. But I never went into anything else. I was so focused on my field, and then I got obliterated out of it. But then these breakthroughs kept happening. The Shopify client, the partner program, you know, all this. And that was like, okay, now I have the confidence. Now I know the direction. I can build Daylusion's website. I can build the Shopify site. I have the confidence. I have the knowledge. I know I can build it from the back end and then sell it. And like, I can do this. And like, I started doing that, and I built the website out, and like again, like it poured out of me, my story, my life story, and like the way I wrote it. It just like it started like I didn't have to think. It was just like close my eyes and like just boom. Within 5 seconds, I would like perfectly write everything out. And I'm in this new world now, and I realized like God was using all these different experiences to guide me back to my world, my Shopify, e-commerce, fashion world. But more than that, it was also trying to get me to build all these skills, and these tiny skills like content, Shopify, website, Wix, Facebook ads, lead generation, and showing like I saw basically the service side of things, the product side of things, and I saw what is not for me, what is for me, where I'm good, where I'm bad. And through it all, I gained confidence, and that was the big thing. I had lost all my confidence. And I had doing these design clients and everything and making money just like randomly in random parts of the world. I realized that no matter what happens, you can put me anywhere. I can make money. I'm an entrepreneur. I have sales skills. I can do door to door. I can do cold calls. I can do whatever. I can figure it out. I have some skill or the other. Even if the market in that thing is saturated or my offer is not good, whatever. I know I have all these skills. I know how to develop good offers. I'm not Alex Hormozy, but I know how to do that. I can do sales. I'm not Jordan Belfort, but I can still do it. I can run Facebook ads. Again, I'm not like Ben Heath, but I can do it. And these are all specialists, I'm naming because I've been studying these guys for so fucking long, you know, and like learning skills from all these people. So with the website ready, I was like, okay, I used to always go like direct response Facebook ads and shit. This time I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna do like an Instagram Reels content thing because I saw this trend. So I started building out like 90 days content with some kid I knew from my old area. Like somehow he just contacted me and we started working. And we started building it. We started going forward with it. We're working on that. And then I got one more design project. I built out a menu card, and this was my best one yet. And it showed me like, okay, I have like this really aesthetic. I have a good eye for aesthetic. I'm a creative, you know, all that stuff. And then I had like some dramas again, some fake people trying to use me, like trying to like, yeah, like, we believe in you, bro, we'll help you. But I know they're just trying to loot me and like leech off me. And then I had to like say goodbye to my girlfriend and break up because I just can't. I'm too broke to fund her and me. And like, I need to go into this lock-in phase. And she has like her life and my life. And there's like, it's just not the right time. Like, I'll fail and I can't fail. If I fail, I know she ain't gonna be there, I ain't gonna be there. It's not possible. I have to go the distance. And it was like in The Alchemist when the boy has to say goodbye to Fatima and like the Oasis girl, and he has to go on back to his journey and like telling her to wait for him. And it was just like that. And it was crazy. And like, it was like I was trying to find some like meaning and hope to keep going, to get me strength. And this is how you guys can do it as well. Just find like the Navy SEALs and like these guys, they have that saying, it's just find an excuse to win. Like, everything that happens to you is for you. Until death or loss is temporary, you can fucking get through anything if you just, bro, like, timelines don't matter. Like, right now, like, I see like Iman and like Hassan and like Devi and all these guys younger than me, hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, millions of dollars, and they're all in different businesses. Some are similar. They're all there, and I can sit here and like fucking like tear myself down by comparing myself, and I can like do all these things. But every person has a purpose. When you're on your destiny, your path of your destiny, if you're focusing on your thing, if you're going in the right direction, you're accumulating all these skills, it will connect. And yes, I still have to learn a lot of things from these guys. I need to surround myself with the right people, mentors, get my health. Yes, I'm not doing everything right, I'm not saying. And that's part of the reason like why my story is even more inspirational, because I'm literally doing everything wrong and I'm still getting forward, because I just won't fucking quit. I just won't quit. You might outwork me, you might outsmart me, you might out improve me, but you will never fucking make me quit. And you will never fucking outlast me. And that makes me a scary competitor, because every single person like that's been in the game, like in entrepreneurship, says outlasting your competition is the hardest part. Staying in the game is the hardest part. And I know you can throw me in hell, baby. I'll come back with 10 bad bitches. It's just not gonna happen. So if you have that confidence, that like that belief that like I'm on the right path, man. I'm on the right path. I can find an excuse to win. Not an excuse to quit. That's what most people do. I'm delusional. I can find a fucking excuse to win, and I'm gonna win because I'm a winner. You say that shit, you believe that shit, and you keep fucking moving forward. And being a winner and all is good. Then I tried launching the 90 days ad one by one by one, and my Instagram account would just not grow. 20 days in, 30 days in, I realized like the algo is fucked because of the Meta Business Suite is not like pushing things properly. Then I tried uploading it myself, it's not working. Then I deleted that account and added it to another one, and I tried doing this again, posting it, and I realized like I'm doing this all with the worst health and all these things and all this emotional like baggage, and it's like I'm like on the side of a cliff. I'm just trying to climb up, and like my arms give out, and I'm like giving back down. but I'm not letting go of the cliff. Like I won't die. Like I'll not die. I'll not die. But I'll like still climb up and then I'm like, oh fuck. And then I'll take a break. And I'm like, this has to end, It has to be, I have to jump up. Then only I can start running. Like I'm trying to jump off climb up the cliff. And it's been fucking years like this. This is something wrong. So I start trying to watch all these videos, and this whole subconscious mind, all this stuff starts coming. Okay, I'm like, what is this big issue that is like holding me back? Why am I always up and down? And the 90 days content bombs, it's a fail. So I realized, like, okay, I see Davey Fogarty's video and he's like, dude, like, not to me, but he's just saying generally, he's like, still the best way is to do direct response, Facebook ads and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? Okay, that's what I'm good at, I'll do that. So then I just put all my cash back in, like all the money that I have. I get like a trademark for my brand. I apply for trademarks, and even that I fucked up. The fucking agency people, motherfucking liars, cunts, they literally lied because they didn't want to they didn't want to accept that they gave bad advice because there was an issue. So then I had to do double trademark like for the other class and everything. And like, so it's like mistakes are happening, money is going, lot of errors, lot of time is going. But I'm not quitting. I'm just moving forward and moving forward and forward. But I realized a lot of that is coming, this dumb shit is coming from emotional turmoil, right? So I'm journaling this and noting this down. Then around October, I'm approaching the 5-year mark since I first started my first store in 2019. And I desperately want to get my first sale for Daylusion before this. So I just do whatever I can. I launch the ads. There's no it's like nothing is working. I like go to the website, the Facebook ads funnel. I'm checking it. I'm like, okay, website views are less. That means my creative is bad. I start watching Facebook videos again to see how the creatives and the sales funnel works. I'm like refreshing myself because I've been away from this shit for so long again. And I just start piecing it up. I fix the ads and I fix the creative, and I tried like to do like a face video of myself, and that starts giving me like high CTR, like 5% CTR. Then that gets blocked, like banned. So then I start trying to do product images again. But slowly I start fixing the funnel, and it reaches till the initiate checkout. And I start getting some purchases, but they're all fake cod orders. But then I stop the ads again, fix some more things, change some things up, and then I run the ads again, and I get 14 initiate checkouts with 0 purchases. But every other metric is correct. So now I know, I'm like, if I fix the product images, that's the big issue on the website. The product images are not proper, they're just mock-ups. And for my price range and my quality, I need proper photography. If I just fix that, I'll get the sales. 14, 50%, 7 sales. I'm back. Like, I'm fucking back. This is what I wanted from so long. I've been crawling to get here. And I'm just like, holy shit, man. You made it. Like, this was my, like, you made it feeling. At 0. Listen, it's like, I have no money, no nothing. But I'm like, I fucking made it. And I'm like, I just have to fix my health now. I can figure out some job or something, or like agency or whatever. And I just have to fix the images. I just have to fix some shit. And I'm good to go. I can get back to my 20k per month, like 15 lakhs per month sales, and I'll be up and running again, right? And I didn't get any real sales till now. I still haven't, because I never ran the ads. I shut the website down because I didn't have the money to keep it up, and it's like 2k a month it's going. So I cut the cost and everything. But after I launched this thing, I kept visualizing and trying to, like, I got hope, right? So I started visualizing. Then I got the idea for the YouTube channel, started the YouTube channel, and I got all this clarity, and I'm like, okay guys, now I can build my personal brand, I can build my e-commerce brand, and I just have to get some income source to fund my life, so that I can build the personal brand, and I can fund ads and everything and launch it, and I can just slowly build. and I don't have to rush anymore. And I couldn't make peace with the fact of getting a job, going to a 9 to 5 any time in the past 5 years, even though I've had tons of reasons to, tons of opportunities to, tons of like desperation, like desperate times to do it. I should have done it in all financial like and like emotional sense to all other people. But had I done that, I would have never come through my hero's journey to complete the path of becoming an artist and all these different things. I genuinely believe I wouldn't have. I would have quit. And now, because I saw that delusion sale, I'm like, I'm here. I got delusion. I got this. I got like all this setup. Like God has given me this platform to where I'm standing now. I can see the future now. I'm like, God is like, oh, this is where you're going. These are the things you're going to work on. All this shit that you went through was for this, you know. And now I have like the comfort or like the acceptance that like, yeah, if I take a 9 to 5 is just to fund this. Like, it's not straying away from my path. It's not a plan B anymore. It's just I'm doing whatever it takes to fund my life, you know. That's why like I kept doing agency and freelancing and anything to do make money that is not a job, because I'm like, if I take a job, I'm fucked. I'll leave the path. I'll stop becoming an entrepreneur. I have too much emotional issue, like doubt and chaos, and too many people trying to force me into that path. It will fuck me up. And I knew it deep inside. It makes no sense to just pure entrepreneurs. But because maybe it's because I'm an artist as well, and also I have like this philosophy side. I don't know why, guys. It doesn't make sense to me why I'm like this or why this journey is like this. But it just worked out now. Like I, you have to trust your heart. There is a higher purpose. Some things just happen, you know. And yeah, so now I'll go into the lessons. This is the timeline. This is how the year was, you know. But basically, what the shoulder injury happened, and it was accident waiting to happen. But what God was trying to teach me through that is my thoughts create my reality. Like even now, my like breathing is like closing up. That's why I'm like. Oh, it's so weird. See, like this shit is fucking me up, you know. I have to fix my thing. I joined gym like 2 days ago. I paid for it. I haven't gone yet, but your thoughts create your reality, and this is something God was trying to teach me. And that's why like through this year, like I realized like my fears and my weird experiences was all the things that was making my life like all these problems, you know. Yes, there were other things, but I could have chosen my response. I could have created this. And my up and downs came from my self image. And the reason I had no confidence was because of my subconscious mind, all the emotional baggage. And I didn't know the importance of getting in touch with your feelings and your like emotions and all this. So I started digging into subconscious mind, self image, visualization, RAS. You know, you look for why did I get all these bad doctors? Because I always believed that I'll find bad doctors. That's how my childhood was. I was always getting sick and shit. And I always believed like that's how it's gonna be. And I'm always like, when I was injured, I was like getting all these issues. And I'm like, fuck, everything is going wrong, everything is going wrong. And I kept saying it with my words. There's a car, so I'm just stopping. And I kept saying it with my words, and I kept making my life like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? On a momentary basis with negativity. And I guess it's been positive and negative and positive and negative throughout my life, and that's how it is for everyone. But this year, 2024, with all the breakthroughs, it showed that like I named it a breakthrough, and I like went at it, and I tried to stay positive despite massive injuries, and it started coming through. And God was showing me like, hey, you can really control your reality. You can really like manifest what the fuck you want. You can really like do exactly what you're setting out to achieve. Yes, God's plan and His higher purpose is all there, but it's like you tie your camel and then you pray to God. You're 50%, you know. Man rows, God will steer. I'm trying to figure out where I should steer. I shouldn't do that. I should just row and He will steer, you know. And these kind of things. And I started learning all this. And I also like I learned like the agency thing. This is a big thing. I realized like I don't like service-based business agency thing. One, because I prefer physical goods, e-commerce, that shit. Like that's the business model I like. I don't like talking to people all the time. I like to be alone thinking. But also because I had gone so far into this. Like had I started with this, I would have probably been okay with this business model, social media agency or web development agency, whatever. I would have been okay with. Because I had come so far for this, any other deviation now like it like takes me away from my thing. And it's not as much of mind and mental and like financial decisions, because building up the agency makes so much more sense financially for me, my family, and everything, which I can then use to fund the business and everything. But because I'm an artist, unlock the art ability. Being a creative, being disciplined completely ruins my creative side. When I'm like just chilling, waking up, like whenever I want, and just walking around and doing some stuff, and I'm like just happy, I'm being a goofball. That's when I create like the best art, you know. And when I'm trying to wake up every day and being disciplined and everything, I just can't do it. I'm good at business then, but I can't do it. And me trying to build the agency and then build Delusion, and like this is what I realized. Like in my whole life, I've been trying to go against, like, I'm trying to do something impossible or like something really hard. I'm setting myself up for failure, and then I'm like seeing myself fail and blaming myself for it. It's like, bro, take it easy. You're one human being. Like, you can't do everything. You're not God, Kevin. You can't do everything. You're not superhuman. And I read Psycho Cybernetics, and I read Release Your Brakes by Jim Newman, and I read like With Winning in Mind, and I read all these books about self-image psychology, and I started watching all these TED Talks, and I saw like John Jones and like Joe Rogan and all these guys talking about it, and I started taking this shit seriously, and I realized like, fuck, like what? All these years I could have done this. But I also realized then, like, if I knew all this, maybe my path wouldn't have been what it came out to be. Because I had to persevere against all odds. Because I had no idea what I was doing, but I still made it work. Now I have grit. Now I have resilience. Now I have fucking like, I'm the guy. Like, I know I can do anything. I was playing life on hard mode and I still won. Now you give me shit on easy mode, I'll crush you. Like, I can say that with confidence. So it's like, everything has a time and place, everything has a purpose. You will find your footing. Like, at some point the dots will connect, and like Steve Jobs says, the dots connect in retrospect. Man, it does. And I'm only 5 fucking years in, guys. This is my first year. Before 5 years, like, I can only say that 1 year, maybe 2 years, I was even like into self improvement. Okay, so I can say like I was into this for 7 years now at best. Business 5 years, 2 years extra, self improvement 7 years. This is just the starting. Like, and once the money starts coming in, like, I have proper income and my health, like, I can actually stand straight and I'm not in pain, and I have a stable income, and I have like financial resources and one employee or like 2 friends to help me, I'll be a monster. Like, that's the belief I have, right? Like, I'm gonna fucking like destroy everybody. Like, and this is how it is for every single guy. I saw Samuel Onuha recently talking. He's like his darkest times, and he was like, when I get out of this, I'm gonna crush everyone. And I saw Iman talking, is like the guys that took the hardest, like the longest to get started, lap everyone when once they get going. And I'm that fucking guy. And I replied to him, I'm like, bro, I'm betting my life on it. He never saw it, but I am betting my life on it, because the entire of 2024, all I was saying was like, I'm either doing this thing entirely wrong or I'm doing this thing entirely right. And now I believe I'm doing this shit correctly. Yes, there's still tons of room for improvement. I do need mentors. I do need good people in my corner. I don't know it all. I'm not the most successful or like the genius or anything. I'm just saying like that I am living proof, guys, that if you're actually gonna like believe in your shit, if you're fucking delusional enough, and if you just persevere, just never fucking give up, yeah. It will happen. Like, I also believe, I'll add this, that if you do things with the right intention and pure and you have integrity, the universe will really, really, really fucking favor you. I know that, like, even though I've been through the worst odds, I had like this thing with God, like this connection. I'm like, bro, I have done nobody dirty. Everybody has done me dirty. I have conducted myself with pure heart, pure actions, upright, integrity, honesty, loyalty, sincerity, like all the fucking virtues. And if you are gonna like abandon me, then bro, humanity is fucked. Like I'm like, I have no hope left like in humanity, or I won't believe in God and like that type of a thing. Like when I was struggling, you know. But then God was always there. The universe was always favoring, and like it wasn't like life was good. I was still going through bad shit, but he would help and like things would happen. And I was always wrestling with him and like with God, I mean, and like finally now I realize I can create my own reality. I don't actually have to wrestle so much. I don't have to wrestle so much also. I just have to go with the flow, you know. So big lessons from 2024 is your emotions really dictate a lot of your life. It pretty much dictates everything, because thoughts, feelings, behaviors, reality, that leads to self-talk. Self-talk leads to beliefs. Beliefs create thoughts. It's a loop, and that creates your frequency. So I learned about self-talk, limiting beliefs, frequencies, subconscious mind, self-image, creating your reality, quantum physics. I also realized like business and multiple streams of income, and the importance of not being alone. This is some fucking crazy thing that like I should have fixed. I've always tried to be this lone wolf guy. I've tried to be friends, but I've always picked like people who didn't want to win. Like I kept picking people that I wanted to take along, not people that were ahead of me or like beside me that were also striving. I kept trying to like carry my guys, you know, which was a mistake. And also then like there was so much chaos and moving across countries and all, like it's not possible to fucking meet people and find people. And when you're broke as fuck with no income, no poverty, like who are you gonna network with, you know? And past 3 years have been like an isolation phase. It also has been. So it's not the time for me to connect. But I learned that like as soon as I get out of this shit, I'm gonna connect. I need to network. And this is like today is Jan 22nd, 2025, right? So that's my 2024 recap. This is a big video. I said all this in detail because, well, this story, this journey, this shit's not gonna make sense to like 99% of people. But that 1% of people, that you guys who are fucking delusional, who want to chase your dreams, who want to become entrepreneurs, who want to become artists, who want to become athletes, you have this fucking destiny that everybody has, but you believe in it. And people are thinking that you're crazy. You can study this shit. That's why I'm fucking throwing myself out there butt naked, like telling you guys everything as I'm learning, making all these points, you know, and like showing how in many times I fucking failed, how poorly I performed, like every single thing, like just the worst ads, just the worst content. It doesn't matter, as long as you never give up, you'll fucking win, bro. And another thing in 2024 is I realized is like as I unlocked this art ability and I started posting it on my Instagram and my personal brand. First I started with Twitter, then I went to Instagram, then I went to YouTube, and I started rolling around, and like each failure is a stepping stone to success. Like it really is. And if you have a will, my mom used to tell me this, if there is a will, there is a way. And it's fucking true. What she didn't tell me is you can't do everything with willpower. You need to learn about identity and identity shifting. That's how you change behaviors. But man, what a fucking year. Like I'm so proud of myself because 2024 is the first year that 2024 was the year of the breakthrough. I unlocked my artist ability, I unlocked my personal brand, I unlocked all these spiritual learnings that is setting me up. 2024 was not a year of success or running. It was a year I crawled through, with crippling health and shit financial, but with an intimate walk with God that taught me so much about life and has now allowed me to build the setup, the base for the next 5 years, the next 15, 20, the rest of my life. And they say the first decade is the starting, and I'm at the middle, the 5 years. The remaining 5 years is going to show everything, and I'm going to take you guys with me through it all. And it's gonna be fucking awesome, man. We're gonna make some fire shit. Like, this is gonna be fucking fire, bro. I know it. We're gonna make it rain. We're gonna make the best fucking clothes, the best fucking ad campaigns, the best fucking movies. Each store is gonna be an experience like never before. I'm gonna host conferences, and I'm gonna bring the best fucking minds. I'm gonna bring them all here. We're gonna help the community. We're gonna do mad shit, and we're gonna look good doing it. After all, I'm in the fashion industry. Gotta like set the tone. The new guys in town. So yeah, this is enemies beware. That's it for this video.